If you come to Ho Chi Minh City and ask where the nightlife is, one name comes up very quickly: Bui Vien Walking Street. Located in District 1, this is probably the most famous party street in Saigon. During the day, it looks very normal. You have restaurants, cafes, hostels, and traffic moving through. But at night, the whole street changes. The lights come on, the music gets louder, bars fill the sidewalks, and suddenly the place is packed with tourists, locals, street performers, and promoters trying to bring people into different bars. Bui Vien became an official walking street in 2017, but the area had been already been popular with backpackers for years because of its inexpensive hostels, restaurants, and nightlife. The wider area around Bui Vien has long been known as Saigon's backpacker district. And when you walk around here, you can understand why. You have accommodation, food, bars, and nightlife all within a very small area. One thing I did find really interesting is that there is a certain way businesses operate over here. Many of the bars are completely open to the street, and there is intense competition between places that are only a few meters apart. One bar can be packed while the next one is almost empty. So they are not just selling beer or food, they are selling atmosphere. The music, lights, crowds, and energy all become part of the product. And because everything is so visible from the street, a busy bar becomes an advertisement for itself. You walk past, see a crowd having good time, and naturally you become curious. That is probably why you see staff and promoters outside trying to bring people into their bar. Another thing you notice here is the sound. Sometimes you can hear two or three different songs playing at the same time because every bar is trying to create its own atmosphere. You might have live music in one place, electronic music next door, and somebody singing on the street just a few meters away. This is very little quiet time here, and that is probably the best way to describe Bui Vien. You don't really come here for beautiful architecture or peaceful surroundings. You come here for the energy. This area was also hit extremely hard during the pandemic. In 2021, reports said that more than half of all food and beverages businesses on Bui Vien had closed during that period. Now, that makes sense since this street depends heavily on international tourists. Tourism has since recovered strongly, but when you walk here today, you can still see how competitive the street is. Some places are completely packed while others can be surprisingly quiet. And that makes you wonder what running a business here actually must be like. You have rent, staff, entertainment, and dozens of other businesses trying to attract exactly the same customer. Another reason Bui Vien became popular is that drinking here can be relatively affordable compared with nightlife in cities in some of the other cities around the world. Local beers such as Saigon beer, Tiger, and 33 are common, although prices depend on where you sit. The larger clubs and prime locations will obviously charge more than the smaller nearby places. So I wouldn't necessarily call Bui Vien the most inexpensive place to drink in Vietnam. You're also paying for the location and the atmosphere. But for many international travelers, having a few drinks and spending an evening here can still feel relatively inexpensive. And whether you actually enjoy Bui Vien depends completely on what kind of traveler you are. If you like quiet evenings and relaxed conversation, this probably isn't your place. It's loud, crowded, flashy, and sometimes chaotic. Personally, I probably wouldn't spend every night of my trip here, but I would certainly want to be here at least once and see what this place is all about. But I would definitely recommend you seeing it at least once. Even if you don't drink, even if you don't go into a nightclub, just walk from one end of the street to the other and experience it. Because Bui Vien is not really just a nightlife street anymore. It has become part of Saigon's tourist experience. And personally, I think the most interesting part is simply watching how the street works. Backpackers, locals, clubs, street food, promoters, and small businesses all competing for your attention at the same time. It is chaotic, but somehow it works. Well, this is Bui Vien Walking Street. Loud, commercial, inexpensive, energetic, and completely unapologetic about what it is.